Just let me love you tonight, baby. Let me love you tonight. Ooh, oh, baby, yeah.
I'm holding in my hand here this album. I actually have a vinyl copy of it from 1976. This one is Bunny Sigler, My Music. I was listening to this album and I really thought that the one that I really liked was Just Let Me Love You Tonight. I guess the one where you're talking about the Opals. So maybe you can say a little bit about how you got your start as a performer in the city of brotherly love.
You know, it's really funny. There's a DJ here in Philadelphia. He comes on only on Friday night. And he plays that song to death. It was me, my brother, and like I said on the record, it was a guy in the group looked like Nat King Cole. His name was Murphy. And a girl and Poppy and my brother. And it was from my old neighborhood, Northern Liberty Recreation Center. That was the first recreation center in Philadelphia where all the different groups and people came to sing or play basketball or to swim. So it has a lot of meaning in my life.
I recognize the reference to it in the middle of the song. Listening to this album, it seems like you really seem to settle into the slower jams.
I'm a man of love.
That sounds good. That first track that Dexter Wansell arranged, I'm the bunny from the other side of the ocean. That's a wild one. We're talking with Bunny Sigler. You have writing credits that I discovered of at least 250 songs. One song I didn't realize that you wrote was International Playboy. You have one of the writing credits on that, and I know Wilson Pickett had a big hit with that one.
You know, and there was a ballad on there that never got played, but he sang the hell out of it.
You started some of your performing career down in Atlantic City, and I worked in Atlantic City for 7 years at a couple radio stations down there. What are some of your memories of Atlantic City performing down there?
I did everything. There was a piano bar, but I worked in the big hotels, too. I'm that kind of entertainer. I had arrangements where I worked at shows like Sammy Davis and stuff, and the big, all those hotels before they were casinos I worked.
So let's move forward in time now. Back in Philadelphia, you were with Cameo Parkway for a while, and then you hooked up with Gamble and Huff. You started to shift your career into writing songs.
I was in Canada performing at a club, and then I went to take karate with a Vietnamese guy. So when I came back to Philadelphia, every Gamble and Huff had finally gotten together. I really was with Leon Huff at Cameo Parkway. But really, they had a production company on the second floor. You hear the story about Gamble and Huff meeting on the elevator going up. And Gamble and Huff was on the sixth floor. So all of the artists, you knew, Kenny had a company, so people would come there from New York to talk to him about producing people. And I walked around with a guitar. And I was in the hallway singing. Now, I was so frustrated because I just came off a top 12 pop record on Let the Good Time Roll, and the company folded, and I had nothing. So I was crazy. You know, people were getting deals, but they couldn't sign me because I was still signed to a production company. So I was kicking those walls and knocking holes, and people were coming to see Kenny, and I was out there practicing and maybe kicking by some people's faces. And they said, man, you got to get this crazy guy out of the hallway. He's going to hurt somebody. So the best thing that happened to me was Kenny telling me, so look, man, why don't you go in the room and try to write some songs with this guy, Gene Dozier? And that's what I did. I'll go back and I'll come forward. My thing was, you know, most people, they don't know the words to a song. They just know the main hook. And I used to sing at this place down there, and I'd make up my own words to the song, and I'd be beating my feet. And that was the way that Gamble and Huff, all of us wrote at that time. We didn't have drum machines. We'd stomp our feet and play the piano and sing, and the sound of our feet would even still come through the microphone. So that was our drum. So that was the beginning of my writing with Eugene Dozier.
We're talking with Bunny Sigler. I'm King from Powerhouse Radio. Bunny, you've done it all. You've been a guitarist, you've been a pianist, you've written, but you also moved into producing, and you produced some of my favorite classics. You produced Free Man and We're on the Right Track. We play that one a lot from South Shore Commission. And also you've had a connection with instant funk got your mind made up. So tell us a little bit about producing some of these groups.
The South Shore Commission, their manager was connected with Don Cornelius from Soul Train. His name was Dick Griffey. He was manager of the Whispers and several of the other groups. But when I got with Instant Funk, that whole album, I got my mind made up. It was cut 8-track and then put on the 24, and we overdubbed. And actually, Instant Funk I was cutting funk, and it ended up to be into the disco era. You being in the business, you know that no matter what the music has been, a ballad's always got through.
True. Yeah, Quiet Storms are always been popular no matter what the era. Everybody wants to get into the love songs. So that's really true. Let's talk a little bit about the album From Bunny with Love and A Little Soul. Some of my favorites on this one, which came out earlier in 2012. I like Sweet Lorraine and Unspoken Words. Those are really nice songs.
Well, I think the one I actually copied was How Bad Do You Want It, Marvin Gaye, and the one You're Too Sexy for Your Own Good. What I do, I have my own studio. And we were just having fun. The one you spoke, Unspoken Words and Sweet Lorraine, I think if those songs had ever got played, which they still might have been, I think they could be smashes. I was surprised at the African-American people who like Sweet Lorraine.
It's a great song. I mean, the arrangement is a little bit different, but to me it's still R&B, even though it doesn't fall into the mold which has taken over R&B music.
It was cut live. I just like to have fun. The one Unspoken Word, well, I think on this album I got a chance to sing. We did a video. The video is about Unspoken Words, about a father and a son not getting along, or a daughter and a father.
When I hear the song Unspoken Words, I think about Luther Vandross's Song for My Father. It has the same emotional hook to it. Let's talk about your Christmas album, When You Are in Love at Christmas Time. We're talking with Bunny Sigler. I'm King from Powerhouse Radio. Bunny, when folks do Christmas albums, it seems like they're usually recorded earlier in the year, in the middle of the summer, when it's kind of hard to get into the holiday spirit, I suppose.
You know what? It's a blessing, the album, because some of the things I did, I just sang them. You know, I think that I sat down and wrote them, I just sang them. And now I'm getting ready to do some TV shows, and I have to go back to that emotion. You know, there's some things I said that I wouldn't have wrote in like the song, and When You're in Love, it's the best time to be with your woman hanging with me. You know, just simple. Whatever felt good, I did. And actually, it was all cut within 6 weeks, 7 weeks. We started with Old Lang Syne. My lawyer said, why don't you cut this on? Should all the acquaintance be forgot? I said, well, look, that's only going to be good for 1 week. We might as well do a Christmas album. And I went to work, and he was under the impression that I was going to cut it for next year. And within a week, I had half of the album done, and I told him, so we just kept going.
Well, your instincts were right about Old Lang Syne, because, yeah, you can only play that one for about a week or so. But let me talk a little bit about the title track of your Christmas release, When You're in Love at Christmas Time. It's a very nice contemporary song. It's got that Philadelphia groove going. How do you select which ones you want to record?
Well, somebody told me, I had a guy, there's a guy named Randy Bolin who plays for Joe Scott and all these people. He had an idea on a Silent Night, and everybody told me, how can you cut an album without cutting Silent Night? And the songs I cut, they were like a blessing. Like the guy that wrote Somebody Loves You with me, he said, man, I got an idea on Little Drummer Boy. And he had it, but it wasn't funky enough. I said, man, let's get down like, you know, like the Staple Singers. And that's how we got with that one. And then we did, one thing I did on this album that's different than anything, I sang in a lower register.
I was going to ask you about that, because on Christmas Song, I said, is he singing the high and the low part, or is this a duet?
The key that I'm singing in all the songs, except the last one. When you're in love, in the old days, when you're in love, I would have been way up there, because I'm a tenor.
So on the Christmas Song, you're singing both the high and the low part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. So you've got a great vocal range.
Oh, I sing opera. I do. I was nominated for Grammy for Othello 3 years ago.
Congratulations. What's your favorite tune on the Christmas album?
There's 4. When You're in Love at Christmas Time, Oh Holy Night, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Ave Maria.
We're talking with Bunny Sigler. I'm King from Powerhouse Radio. Bunny, if somebody wants this collection of holiday songs called When You're in Love at Christmas time, is it available at iTunes or from Amazon?
On both of those. Plus, they can get it on bunzymusicandrecords.com.
How do you spell Bunzy Music?
B-U-N-Z.
B-U-N-Z, Music and Records?
.com. www though first.
Great. Bunny, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. I feel like you're somebody I've known for years and years and years, but we've never met and we've never talked. I've been a big fan of what you've done. You've done it all in terms of writing songs, performing, producing. What haven't you done, and what do you see as another mountain to climb moving forward?
Acting. I'll be in Paris. I've been doing Othello since '04. I did it in Venice, Trieste, Reggio Emilia, Rome, Dusseldorf, Vienna, Austria, and now I'm going to Paris to do it in March.
Excellent. Good luck with that.
They say when you cut a Christmas album, it comes out every year, so this is the beginning. And I really appreciate having this interview.
And I appreciate you talking with me.
Thank you.